We're going to motivational speaking, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you good at that?
I'm nice.
And you're trying to motivate people to do what?
Overcome. Hold on. I don't even want to use overcome.
You know where I'm going.
Honestly, I feel like the message is have the aspiration of going as far as you can take it, but make sure that
You didn't go as far as you could take it. You got hit with 2 obstacles and you quit.
But my heart was no longer in it.
That's what the kids need. How do I sign up at the beginning of a season, say this is what I want midway through the season, whether it's a concussion, whether I drop a pass and the kids are laughing at me at school, whether I'm going through some things like at my home, how do I persevere through all that stuff? I'm saying you can't teach them that. Because you quit. When you had 2 obstacles. You suck, your business sucks, and you'll never be successful. How many people paid you $5,000? You never lied to anybody? Okay, real quick. Anything you see in here? It's over, bro. What's your belief system? You're married, yes, to a woman, or you let your wife wear pants? When I ask you for something and you don't give it to me, are you knowing that you're lying to me?
Lying?
You cannot move being this comfortable. But you be in the crib and your drawers just like, hey, yo. My job is to make you fail. My job is to make you quit. My job is to make you cry. But if you survive it, success is on the other side. Welcome to the hot seat, man.
What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm outstanding.
Okay. What qualifies that statement? That you're outstanding?
I am. Why not be? Like,
There's a bunch of reasons you could not be.
Yeah, but I woke up this morning, and that fact alone, I'm outstanding. Even on the bad day, I'm outstanding. Right?
Sure.
We got to speak these things as though they are. So, if something.
So are you saying
bad,
that it's not?
No, it actually is outstanding.
You said we got to speak them as though they are, as if it's not.
Yeah, but it is.
All right. Okay. I'm just checking to make sure you all good, man.
I'm good. I'm good money. I'm here with you, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So you're an entrepreneur, yes?
Yes.
Okay. What do you do?
Transitioning out of stand-up comedy into motivational speaking. So I'm a motivational humorist.
That's actually kind of lit.
Thank you.
So you are a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Full time?
What's full time? What's the definition of full time?
That's the main source of your income.
Okay. All right. So what's the definition if you don't
it.
make any income? Is that
So you weren't making any money?
no. I made a little something.
Yeah.
But not nothing.
But why did you get into stand-up comedy though?
So I was actually a college football player, and the dream was always to use the NFL to go to Hollywood, right? Use all my connections and resources in the NFL, go to Hollywood.
To be a comedian?
Be a comedian
Okay,
and
good.
an actor. That was my childhood dream.
Okay, dream.
Yep.
Be a comedian, be an actor. Okay, gotcha.
Got 2 back-to-back concussions, like back-to-back seasons, right?
Yep.
On kickoff, dude just came both times, like they took me out of there. After my second one, it was 3rd game of the season. I woke up and I was like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
We out, we done. And I played the rest of the season and then told my coach I quit.
Yeah.
Then about 6 months later, I was in Hollywood.
Oh, word, doing comedy.
Yeah. So I had a show booked my second day there. I went to North Hollywood to the Ha Ha Cafe. Absolutely bombed, but I had one joke. Like one joke that worked. It's explicit.
Tell the
so
joke. Oh, well, okay, it's explicit. Okay.
Yeah, it's explicit. And I want to respect your space.
I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how long were you a stand-up comedian?
So my daughter was born, 12 years now.
12 years.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
You didn't make any money in 12 years?
$500.
You made $500 in 12 years.
in one, and then I got paid $50 for a hosting gig. So I guess you could say $550.
12 years, you made $550.
Actually, I went to Texas. I got paid $300 for that. I bombed.
12 years, you made $850.
There you go.
Why?
Inconsistency, man.
And why you keep bombing, bro? Are you just not that good at it? Because you
no,
said you bombed in Hollywood, then you bombed.
That was my very first show.
But then another one.
Texas, I didn't listen to myself. I didn't trust myself. If I would have stayed in the pocket of just being natural and normal, I was good. Because the second I went off the dome, I had them. But then I went back to some material I was trying to work, right? Because I'm an artist.
You're just not that good at as being a comedian.
Okay, I rock with it.
No, I'm asking.
I'm good. I just inconsistent.
Who else will say you're good?
Of course, I can say my mama, but that's an easy one.
All right, harsh reality. You're probably not that good at it.
Okay.
If the first person we think of, my mom would say I'm good.
Rodney Perry, you familiar with Rodney Perry?
Yeah.
Rodney Perry told me, you got it. Like,
that doesn't mean you're good. That means I'm motivated. Listen,
if he looks me in my eyes and tell me,
brother, listen, I done talked to a whole bunch of terrible entrepreneurs, and I say, you know what, you got it, man. There's something inside of you. You got this, and they're terrible at it. I'm not saying you're terrible. I'm just saying, in 12 years, $850, bombed a couple times, and nobody wants to pay you.
A lot,
yeah.
Because I take risks.
Okay, I am saying you're terrible. It's cool.
Yeah.
But then we're going to motivational speaking, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you good at that?
I'm nice.
Okay. Yeah, and you're trying to motivate people to do what?
Overcome. Hold on. I don't even want to use overcome.
You know where I'm going.
I don't even want to use overcome. We're gonna take overcome out.
Yeah.
All right. Me and Ja talked about that.
Yeah, let's start
Me
that
and Ja
over.
talked about that.
You're trying to Jaws.
Yes.
So y'all motivate speak.
First 5 minutes of the episode, I called him. I said, "Bro, you wild." Absolutely.
That blew hearts or something.
We had some long discussions about that, and I picked up a lot of nuggets from that episode.
No, that's my guy though, man. Yeah. I think he's going to be successful. He'll be able to figure this out and turn it into something.
I agree.
But back to you.
Yes.
You're motivating people to do what?
All right, so I'm gonna go back to overcome, but this is why. Because my brand is hoes. Where the hoes at? Humans overcoming struggles every day, and that's my message. Like, I want to help people overcome some of the struggles that they're going through, mostly by the struggles that I've been able to overcome or still trying to overcome.
Yeah, because just on the surface doesn't seem like you've overcome a lot. Meaning,
I'm with you.
You have this dream to play football. 2 bad things happen, and you say, "I quit." Then we go into the goal is to be in Hollywood and to be a comedian. Mm-hmm. And we quit on that. Mm-hmm. And then now we're a motivational speaker telling people to overcome. If I've been doing something for 12 years, what information can you give me to tell me to keep going?
The funny thing is, that's exactly the message. The message is, I quit when I was playing football. I take full accountability for that. I quit Hollywood, because my wife said, or my girlfriend at the time said, I'm pregnant. And I instantly was like, oh, excuse, right? In reflection, I can recognize that I used my daughter as an excuse to quit Hollywood and come home. So,
how long you been a speaker? Or how long have you made the transition? Or you're making the transition now?
Yeah, kind of still making the transition, pretty much.
You have no evidence of overcoming anything based on what you're telling me.
Okay.
So why would I listen to you?
That's a really good one. So like empirical proof, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's important that if we're going to give some people some information, it needs to be information that we know works and have some examples of what it works. See, the challenge with, I guess, motivational speakers now is because we're articulate and we can put a message together that's going to be dope. It's fire. It's probably like you probably include jokes and all that kind of stuff. It's probably very unique, I believe. It's just there's no weight to it because you don't have the real life experience. You're only able to articulate a message, but there's nothing backing your message. Right. So I feel good people booking me to speak as an entrepreneur because I've been doing it for so long and I've been through the ups, downs. There's nothing you've been through as an entrepreneur that I haven't been through. Yeah. And I'm giving them real life examples and experience. This isn't me just being able to, I'm not the best articulator. I say words wrong. I make up words in my presentation sometimes. All right, chill out, Nelly. I make up words sometimes. My cadence isn't the best, but I'm gonna give you some real life examples because I know exactly what you're going through. And I can tell you how to get over it. I'm not just going to tell you to get over it. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to get over it.
Well, I believe I can do the same thing.
How? Because you don't know, though.
But I do know. I do know I have.
How many kids
overcome.
you got?
2.
So how old are they?
11 and 8. My son about to be 9.
Okay. How can you tell me how to transition my child from high school to college and all the things that they're going through? They're confused about their career. They're going to parties every day.
Yep.
How do you teach me that?
To transition your child from high school to college?
Yes.
I say first
you
off,
can't.
Okay.
You don't know.
But I've transitioned from high school to college.
But you haven't taught a college, not in this day and age, 2023. They're dealing with much different things.
It's been a minute.
So how can you tell me the advice that I need to give to my child? You may be able to say, okay, this is what I went through and this is what I felt.
Okay.
But it's much different than actually telling somebody how to do something, and you got to articulate it in a way that makes the child feel comfortable. And I'm just saying you don't know because you haven't been through it yet. You can give some really good advice based on what you think.
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But what are we going to do?
Keep going. I mean, because even though I may not have, what you consider the evidence, or we still keep moving towards it. So do I just wait until I have some kind of evidence to be a speaker, or do you continue to use the gifts and talents that you have to impact?
I think you build your brand off of something you know without a doubt.
Yeah.
And overcoming obstacles may not be your thing. Here's the thing. I'm waiting to hear a motivational speaker that always, like, their whole message is on how they be quitting stuff and all the bad stuff that's happening in their life, and they leave not on a high note, but hey, y'all, if you don't want to end up like me, y'all need to do the exact opposite of everything I just told you. I'm out, y'all. And then you get a round of applause.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. That's actually a part of my message.
Good.
Because I've acknowledged I've quit X, Y, and Z over a span of however many years. But there was a point where my wife and I was like, hey, this ain't what I want anymore. And I recognized that feeling from when I was playing football. And I said, oh, I remember what I did when I had that feeling. Let me evaluate right here in this moment. Make sure this is what the moves you want to make. So I tell people, me quitting football is actually what saved my marriage.
Who?
Me quitting football saved my marriage.
How long you been married?
11 years.
11 years?
Yep. Been together 5. I mean, we were dating 5, been married for 11, so 16 overall.
Have you ever separated?
4 months while I was in California. I was a wild boy in California.
Oh, while you were out there working?
Yeah. So she was finishing her nursing degree at Jacksonville State University. That's where we both were. Yeah. So, when I went out to Cali, it was
outside.
I was outside.
Were y'all married at this point?
No, we were just dating.
Okay. Oh, just all right. That's normal. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
So y'all were together for 5 years.
Yep, 5.
Then got married, and now you've been together for 11 years.
Yep.
Y'all were separated when you were dating, of course. You have your ins and outs.
Only time we ever broke up.
She ever cheat on you?
No, she never cheated on me.
You ever cheat on her?
Back in, I was a wild boy.
I'm talking when you were married.
No, married, no.
Y'all ever been through some stuff?
Plenty of times.
Almost broke y'all up?
Plenty of times.
Are y'all in a happy space now?
Very happy.
This is the motivational speaking message you need to deliver, because you are an expert.
On marriage, David?
It seems like the thing that you've overcome and lasted in.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm not always the greatest example.
Which is cool, but at least you have the receipts. I don't think I'm good at marriage.
Yeah.
I'm
decent.
I'm decent.
Yeah. My guy.
Yes, I'm decent.
Yes. Empirical
I'm still trying to figure out how when I'm just gonna say it, okay? We were watching Suits on Netflix.
Okay.
This is last night, okay? And maybe like a week or two ago, I was talking on a podcast about prenups. Somebody else was talking about it, and I was like, yeah, well, I don't have a prenup. And I said, if I'd have thought about it, we'd have probably signed a prenup.
When I heard that in the episode, I was like, that's a wild boy.
Really?
Yeah. Because you were talking to my man with the restaurants.
Yeah, so that's bad? I shouldn't have said that? No?
You know what? I think you have the same thing that I have, where we just want to be honest with the world.
Yeah.
And our wives don't want to hear our honesty. Like, I think our honesty is offensive sometimes.
Yeah.
I have that same thing.
I feel that. Oh, so you would recommend I just don't say that? Or even continue this story?
I don't know.
Okay. It's good advice, actually. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about it right now, but we're here now.
All right, we're here now.
So we're watching Suits, and it's about a bunch of lawyers and all that kind of stuff, and the prenup conversation comes up on the TV, and I'm just enjoying it. We're just here watching it. She pauses it, brings up the other conversation about a prenup. She said, so let's talk about this whole prenup thing. I say, she said, you believe in prenups? I said, yeah, I think so. And she said, you want me to sign a prenup? I said, no, you good. Like, we got 5 years in, we straight. I don't need all that. Yeah. She was like, but you said that if you'd have thought about it, then you'd have had me sign it. I said, yeah, probably. At that moment. And she's like, yo, well, I'm taking care of the kids and you the money maker and all kind of stuff. I'm left with nothing. I said, well, the good news is we don't have a prenup, which means you got a half of everything right now.
Yeah.
I'm unprotected, which means I really love you.
I told my wife, if being that she was the breadwinner for a long time, if she left me, I probably went out.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be up to the courts to decide.
I feel him, but I got a nice argument.
I wanted to try to educate, too.
Yes, sir.
Take this moment to educate a little bit.
Sir.
And I'm like, well, a prenup doesn't just mean you get nothing. A prenup, to my understanding, is just an understanding. We put something together that says, in the event that this doesn't work out, this is what happens. It doesn't mean you're out in the streets. This is what happens.
Yeah. Just in case.
She didn't like it. She didn't like this whole conversation. I'm like, yo, you're saying it like I asked you to sign a prenup tonight. I didn't say it. And when you asked me, I was like, no, I don't need it.
But it's crazy.
But she doesn't like my thought process on the prenup thing.
It's the fact that we even have the thought is an issue, I think, sometimes.
Seems logical, though. And, yo, guess what? I started bringing all this logic into it. I'm like, what is the likelihood of a couple staying together? It's 50%.
Yeah.
It's 50-50. I mean, I was telling her an example. My best friend, if we went into business, the first thing I'm going to have a conversation is, if my best friend now, if we go into business, what happens if we stop liking each other? What happens if this doesn't go right? We're mature enough to have a conversation about
crucial conversations.
She didn't like it, though.
And she brought it up. She
brought it up from the TV.
No, it's crazy.
You feel me?
I'm with you.
I don't know where we were going with this conversation. I don't
you were
like
telling
that.
me
I
I
don't
was
like
trash.
that we talked about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you told me something just now. You said the thought of certain conversations could be triggering, which means I shouldn't bring them up, or I shouldn't talk about. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that on a public platform, right?
Yeah, maybe not on the public platform. And I've gotten in trouble about this a lot, saying certain things on stage, saying certain things in podcasts, and my wife's like, but that made me feel away. And I'm like, yeah, but that's my truth.
Yeah.
Like, that's my truth. It's not about you. So I've had this same argument.
But you helped me just now, because I never even thought about that. But you know why you can give me that information?
Why is that?
Because you've been together with your wife for 16 years.
Yes,
you've
sir.
been together for 11, married. You guys been through the ups, downs. You've overcome that. So what's so wrong with being a motivational speaker, talking to people that are dealing with the thing that you understand, that you've been through? Like, you're going to go to a bunch of high school students and be a motivational speaker for them to go win a championship, or college students, but you don't really know how to persevere through that. Because you quit.
Oh, you was a dirty piece, boy.
I'm just saying. You want to go to like a corporate arena and tell them, or like a conference and tell the entrepreneurs, yo, y'all need to grind, get through it. It's going to be tough. I know I didn't, but I'd rather you be talking at marriage conferences. 11 years is something to be proud of. I've been together 5 years. I got some sort of expertise. I got a few receipts. Yeah. I could start a relationship podcast. I could. I'm not. But I could. I got some receipts. I understand what men are going through.
Yeah. I guess for myself, I've never seen me be an expert, even though I will say there's many of times I've told like friends who inquire about marriage, like, hey, make sure you have yourself together, like mentally, spiritually, physically, because you will get exposed. Yeah. And the worst thing you want to do is be exposed in front of your wife and children. Yeah. It's a painful feeling. And I felt that before. So yeah. So I've lended advice throughout time, but never considered myself expert in that.
I mean, I think that's what makes you an expert, because you don't consider yourself an expert. But you have the experience, and you're still learning. But in your process, so I don't consider myself an expert in entrepreneurship, because I'm still learning. There's a bunch of things, depending on who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to somebody who hasn't made their first $100,000, I'm the guru. I know how to help you. But if I'm talking to somebody that's making $10 million a year, I'm not an expert. I'm trying to learn. I haven't done $10 million in a year yet.
Right.
So getting to a level of $100 million, they started talking about taxes and shelters and companies and oversee all kind of stuff, and systems and processes and CEO, COOs, CMOs, removing yourself from the business, acquisitions, selling the company, deal structure. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go into the motivational speaker lane of that. But if you're talking about beginning entrepreneurship, I'm the GOAT. But what makes me the GOAT is that I know I'm not an expert, and I'm continuing to learn. And when I talk about it, I'm just giving my experience at the level that I'm on.
Gotcha.
And I'm not saying you can't go into motivational speaking, but I would definitely bounce every story off of, okay, I quit school, but I didn't quit my marriage. Or I quit football, but I didn't quit my marriage. There's a dream that I had, and I thought I wanted to stuff on the outside, but I didn't quit on this one thing. It's easier dealing with the masses of people than it is one person that you wake up with every day. And then I'm transitioning my speech into, okay, well, what if nobody's in your house? How do you be in a relationship with yourself and get yourself to understand you? This is something that you know something about.
Yeah.
But you just want to be a motivational speaker because E.T. and Inky do it on a high level. But E.T. lived in the streets and became a multimillionaire. Inky lost his arm and became a multi-millionaire. Yeah. So of course they have a license to be a motivational speaker. Name somebody that's a high-level motivational speaker that haven't accomplished success in the thing that they're talking about. Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown. People that accomplish something and just talk about the thing that I accomplished, not just philosophy. That's why social media got us so messed up, bro. It's like, if we say something online and it gets a lot of views, now we're the expert. Now this is something that I'm into. There's a popular motivational speaker right now that I'm hearing. Never mind. No,
hey, let it go.
I can't.
Say it.
No.
Let it out.
Because it's an unneeded shot, and it's just my opinion, and I don't know the brother's story.
Yeah, don't do it then. Don't do it. I like that self-correction we just gave ourselves.
Yeah. But we get a lot of people, you had a viral video or a viral something, and now you're a motivational speaker. I don't like it, because you can't really provide no information for somebody because it ain't experience.
Well, this is why I made the transition. I was a firefighter, got fired from my job.
You didn't make any money for 12 years. I understand why you made the transition. You got to transition to something.
No, I won't say that. Because honestly, I could do stand-up for the rest of my life and not get paid for it. That's how much I love it. But the problem became, after I got fired, I had to go through a lot of self-work. Like, I had to really rebuild myself because I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
Because Yeah, I quit a lot of different things, but firefighter, I didn't. Not only did I not quit, but I was a class president. I gave them the graduating speech, right? Got a standing ovation at the end. And I changed so much during that period. Like I really had to become a different person. And then to lose that broke me. And the rebuilding process is where I learned how to overcome, because I had finally stuck to something. Everything against me. I was the old man. I was 33 at the time. All right, I was the old man in the bunch, but I didn't quit it. It was moments.
In the comedian space.
In the training, like
training
gotcha. As a firefighter. But again,
how long was the training?
4 months. 4 months.
And how long were you a firefighter?
For my first department, 6 months. And then I went to another department. I was there almost a year.
And then,
this guy's good. I didn't quit that. I resigned. It's a difference.
Tell yourself whatever you tell yourself, brother. You got receipts somewhere, and I think you should use the receipts that you have.
Fair enough. I agree.
Yeah. Because, I mean, really, outside of marriage, I can't, and it's based on a story, and there's probably a bunch of other stuff, but overcoming. And here's the thing. I guess maybe I'm wrong, because it takes some resilience to go 12 years doing something and only making $850. The only problem is it's not a strong dismount, meaning after we tell the story of persevering for 12 years, there's not a, there's not a.
It's coming though.
No, it's not, because you quit it.
No, it's coming.
No, you stop though. Are you about to go back into comedy?
After I accomplish some things in life, I'm going back. My life is not structured for me to fully pursue right now.
Yes, the dismount of after this message, and when I say dismount, all right, we're going through all this stuff, but at the end, this is my landing.
Yeah.
I went through 12 years, but if you keep going, you will finally accomplish this thing. But you don't have that, and you're saying you won't get it until you spend the next however many years becoming a motivational speaker, becoming successful at that, and then you got to actually be a comedian and get and try to win at that too. So you won't have this story for the next 20 years. You won't have the dismount for 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you've got receipts in something, and I think that would be, because the stuff that you're telling them will actually work. So if I'm doing something for a long time, what do you tell me to keep going to succeed? What would you tell me?
If you're doing something for a long time.
I've been in a business, you've been 6 years and it's clothing brand.
Right.
What do you say? How do you teach him how to get over that? How do you inspire him to keep going?
So can I take a pause break for a second? Let me think about it.
Take your time, brother.
We're going to chop it up and make it like I just took 2 seconds to think about it?
Yeah, no, let's go.
Okay.
But that's going to be a part of a challenge too, because that's how I know you don't have the depth of knowledge, because you need a long time to think about it. I can have a conversation with him about why his business isn't working, and I can tell him how to get over it. I don't need 30 minutes to think about it. If I'm going through something with my wife, and I'm saying, yo, bruh, this is what I'm going with. You don't need 30 minutes to think about it. You're going to pull some stories from the last 11 to 16 years. You're going to give me some information. That's why when I say, teach me how to get over this whole business thing, teach me how to get over this challenge. You need time to think about it. This isn't the space that you need to be speaking in.
But I wouldn't be speaking in the business space though.
What are you speaking in?
Mostly athletes.
What?
Because I'm. You're
going to inspire them
to
keep going until they get to the league.
Honestly, I feel like the message is have the aspiration of going as far as you can take it, but make sure that
you didn't go as far as you could take it. You got hit with 2 obstacles and you quit.
like you said,
Pretty serious,
other variables, other variables, yes. But
There's always going to be variables.
Yes, but that second one, yeah, I knew it was a wrap after that.
You finished the season though.
I did.
You played in the season?
I did. But my heart was no longer in it.
That's what the kids need. How do I sign up at the beginning of a season, say this is what I want midway through the season, whether it's a concussion, whether I drop a pass and the kids are laughing at me at school, whether I'm going through some things like at my home, how do I persevere through all that stuff? I'm saying you can't teach them that. Because you quit when you had two obstacles.
Yeah, but I can evaluate why I did quit. And I think
Can't we all?
I think that's the place that I can speak from.
I can make a really good, so you're going to give them a good reason to quit?
No, I can say the reason that I quit was lack of emotional intelligence.
That's how you overcome stuff. You have to get over the emotional intelligence. That's not the crux of the speech. Hey, y'all, the reason I quit is because I ain't have emotional intelligence. Well, tell me how to have that. Whether it's corporate, business, athletes, that is the crux of the message. Mm-hmm. How do I do this when I don't feel like doing it anymore? That's why I love Inky's story, because he lost his arm and went right back to school.
Yeah.
Right back. He tells this story about how he's on like this moped or something at his house, and his son is on the moped, and he's driving, and his son falls off. His wife is going crazy, but he runs to his son and say, hey, get back on that bike. Let's keep going. Mm. Now, how can he tell his son after he falls off of this motorized bike, we're not licking our wounds, get back on the bike? Because his moral of the story is what I got, and I'll never forget this story. He's like, I can't have my son afraid of that thing just because it hurt him. Yo, when he tells the story, the room goes silent. But the only reason he has that story is because he lost his arm and went right back to school.
He got back up on the bike.
Isn't that incredible?
It is.
But you can't get that story unless you go through it. You can't get it. There's no way you can get it unless you go through it. And I'm sure he has a million other stories. That's why I'm not a motivational speaker. I only teach on entrepreneurship because I don't feel like I went through enough. I had two parents when I grew up, went to college, quit that. I didn't really like that. I didn't have any major injuries myself. I was never homeless. I'm not a motivational speaker. I could teach on entrepreneurship or podcasting or something like that because I got the ups and downs of that. Goodness gracious. So I'm just asking you to speak on something that you're.
So let's. I don't even see. Oh man, I don't see an avenue of how. Speaking on relationships and marriage.
Oh my gosh. Listen to me, brother. Right now is the best time to give relationship advice. Look at the platforms that are blowing up right now. They all have something to do with relationships. All of them. In 2018, 19, I started the Social Proof podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about entrepreneurship. 2020 hit, the pandemic hits, everybody's afraid. They're going back inside and they're scrambling to figure out what's going on. Jobs are letting people go, but then the government comes in and gives money to everybody. Now, I don't have a job. I got an influx of money. Now I'm going to put my money into this dream, into this business. And then everybody else has money too. So the business that I'm building, it's easier to sell. And all along, I have this entrepreneurial podcast. Meaning, at that time, it was just perfect timing for us to have an entrepreneurial podcast.
Gotcha.
Perfect timing. Timing couldn't have been any better. If it wasn't for the pandemic, my podcast success would have been delayed significantly. That's what I believe. Yeah. It was the right time. I was doing it when it hit and I had some momentum. Boom, we're good. Guess when Earn Your Leisure started?
21.
19, 20, around the same time.
Yeah.
And there weren't that many people doing it. So they got this message, and I think Rashad was a financial advisor, so he's giving these tips, but a podcast, perfect timing. Then they're really, really good at it. And then they understand business, so they've kind of spin it off to a whole bunch of amazing things. But that time frame was the perfect time to start a social proof podcast, Earn Your Leisure. Anthony O'Neill, I think he's around that time too. But right now, we are in the same position in the relationship space that we were in 2019, 2020 for the entrepreneurial podcast message. I truly believe that. Look at the relationship podcasts that are blowing up. Look at it. Look at all the stuff you see on social media.
Yeah. I think maybe the algorithm just skips me. I just don't pay attention to the relationship stuff. That's probably why I haven't seen it.
Go through your timeline. Just scroll through your timeline. You're going to see somebody that says something about the relationship status or being single or something. Just go through your timeline.
Phone over there.
Best time to be a motivational speaker, probably 10, 12 years ago. Think about, when I was on Facebook in 2002, 2003, 2004 maybe, whenever Facebook came out, there wasn't a major thread of motivation on social media. If you could think back that far, it was just cool stuff, jokes with my friends, college stuff, Facebook, right? Yeah. It wasn't motivational quotes everywhere. E.T. comes out with this hat and these free YouTube videos with a really strong message talking about motivation. And I believe he paved a way for anybody that's going to be a motivational speaker with a hat on or with T-shirts or sneakers. Who was doing it before him?
Nobody.
Nobody.
It's all a bunch of white guys in suits.
At that time, this is something new, something fresh. All these other motivational speakers start popping up and building a career off of it because it was the right timing. So there was a time for motivation. Becoming a motivational speaker online right now, if you're going to look in the camera and give a motivational message, it seems corny because it's not the right time. But right now is the time for relationship stuff. I'm telling you, you'll see over the next few years. It's going to be a lot of them that started around this time after the pandemic and people realized, we had all this money, but this is what's really important. All my family are getting sick, but here's what's really important. Yeah. I want that companionship. The world pushed us into a space where all these entrepreneurs are talking about entrepreneurship stuff, but then there's a bunch of scammers. Everybody's getting scammed because more entrepreneurship stuff. Everybody's buying courses. You realize a lot of the courses are trash, or you realize that I don't learn like that. I don't want to buy the course because I'm not going to watch it. So we're moving away from this entrepreneurial thing. Not that entrepreneurship won't always be around, but you get what I'm saying.
No, I'm with you.
Our culture, relationship space. Just watch. Just watch. You'll see.
I will say the thing I have picked up as far as relationships amongst our people, we're at odds with each other.
100%.
That I have seen, and I push against that. Like I hear brothers say a lot of things about black women, and I'm like, I don't know how you can even say that. Meaning that we came from black women.
100%. People are confused because there's an argument. And where there's an argument, like when I started Sleep is for Suckers, it was about entrepreneurship. The big argument was, should you be an entrepreneur or not? I had to really convince people that entrepreneurship is a good thing at that point. The relationship space is so dope because there's no right answer.
It's all experience.
It's all opinion. There's no right answer. Should you be faithful to your wife?
Yes.
There's somebody that will argue in the comments that a man was designed to have multiple women. Or this is some European thing that was created.
Right.
Should you open a door for a woman? Whatever your answer is, there's somebody who has a different opinion and they can defend their opinion.
Yeah.
There's no right answer. That's why it's so popular, because no matter what someone says, you can have a different opinion and there's an argument. There was a certain way of doing things 50 years ago.
Right.
That's not the time for a relationship podcast because we understood once we get out of high school, I'm marrying my high school sweetheart. I'm going to go off to the Army. I'm going to come back. We're going to have a bunch of kids. I'm going to get a job and it's up. But now there's confusion.
So how would you approach that then? If you were me, how would you approach that?
Like Kevin Samuels? Not his opinion, but I will go strong left to a side. Meaning, I believe the older way of things, and you have to have an enemy to fight against. I don't believe what y'all talking about right now in this free space of, I was in an argument, not an argument. Well, they argued in the chat. Yep. This lady said a man should take a woman off the market. She was like, yo, it's up to the man to decide whether they move forward in this relationship or not. So if we're just dating, we're just dating. Like I could date a whole bunch of people until you say, I want us to be exclusive. I said, I don't agree with that. I agree. If this is a vibe and we've been rocking for a few months, why don't we both just lock in? I don't care if the woman says it or the man says it. Let's just lock in, see what happens versus me always out there because then it never happens, us coming together.
Yeah.
But you should have seen the comments. I'm far left saying, no, I believe if you feeling somebody, you rock with them. Everybody else is saying, not everybody, because there was a split. No, a man is supposed to court. It's the difference between courting and dating. If I was you, I would stand on something. I would believe in that thing, and I'd keep pushing that message. And then you'll find your tribe. But you'll also find somebody that argues, which is a good thing, because it creates energy around it, around the message.
Gotcha.
But persevering is cool. I would just frame it in the relationship space. How do you fight through when we're not feeling each other? How do you do that? How do you overcome that? How do you overcome a difference of opinion or how you're raising your children? I don't know. I'm probably doing it wrong. I'm saying the wrong stuff. We're in love.
Yeah.
So it's working. I should come out with a course because I'm 5 years in. I got a license. Right? 5 years? I got experience. I'm good at it, kind of.
5 years is when we were just getting back right. It was that 3 year mark for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, you got experience. You do.
I thought this was going to be a funny interview, man.
Because you're a comedian? I'm not. I had fun, though. I thought it was funny. There was a couple jokes going, right?
It was a couple.
Yeah.
It was a couple. I wanted to make my mark.
You know what's crazy? Everybody that comes on has a plan until we had this conversation.
You're right.
Everybody has a plan. But this was helpful though, right?
I don't know.
No?
No, I don't know. I'm leaving here confused, honestly.
Oh, good. Well, that's good because I think you were convinced of the wrong thing. I'd rather you be confused about what you should do, though.
That's good. That was a good one.
Yep.
That was a good one.
You should. I mean, you'll go back and watch this. I'm probably going to take the worst possible clip from this and post it on social media, and that's when you're like, oh,
what's the worst possible clip, though?
I don't know. I gotta go back and look at it.
All right. We'll think about it.
You're not going to like it, though.
That's perfectly fine. No, I will like it, man, because I all jokes aside, I appreciate everything that you're doing in this space, man. Yeah, but I didn't appreciate you making Corey a scammer, though. That was... What
you mean?
Poor little innocent Corey.
Oh, yeah.
That was cold. That's the homie, too.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah. But no, I appreciate this, though. This is good. Very confused.
Good say. Good job, man. You just watched this whole episode. If you like this episode, watch this one right here. Click right here. You're going to like this one if you like the one you just watched. Check it out.